So, how many people know about this? That the Black Panthers are the originators of the school breakfast, lunch program we now see in the United States. Everyone should know that, you know? So it was an organization that was really fighting for self-sufficiency for Black individuals because we weren't getting the right food and nutrition. We weren't getting health care. As a matter of fact, if you look at the history of the Black Panther movement, they were the ones that went to China to learn about acupuncture. So we're fighting, folks. We're fighting, and I just saw an editorial that's saying that years to come, farming will be soilless. Something to think about. If we allow big companies and biotechnology companies to come in and say, exactly, this is why I'm telling you storytelling is so important. Storytelling is so important because if we don't continue to tell our own stories, then you'll have companies that 10 years from now say, that's the past, we never grow food. No, food is soilless. We're growing because of biotechnology. So something to think about.
So we are at Eddington Center today with Karen in Washington. Hey Karen, how are you?
Hi, thanks for having me here.
So you live in New York State.
Yes, I live in New York State. I've been asked to come here to talk about my work in food justice and do it in terms of storytelling.
So what is storytelling?
So it's really giving people a chance to bring their own narrative. I have found that in the past that our stories are not being told or they're being co-opted, and it gives people a chance to be able to have the power to tell their own stories and also to do it sort of in terms of intergenerational so that the elders can talk about their involvement in the food movement and the young people can understand what has happened in the past, which I think is very important.
And the participants of this event, what are they going to take with them after this class?
I tell everyone that if they are lucky to have grandparents or great-grandparents who have been in the food movement, to take out their iPhones and their Samsung Galaxies and record the fact that they were farmers at one time and their relationship to food, which I think is really, really critical, so that there's some sort of a history and legacy to food and soil and the commitment to land ownership.
And how this started, because we saw that you were explaining in a timeline starting in 1941 until now. So what does this story, that timeline teaches us?
That there's interconnectedness, is that it doesn't stop. It's a timeline that is continuing now as we speak. And along certain parts, there were trailblazers that helped push the food movement into a good and the right direction.
What's your name?
Asa Whitaker.
And so tell us about this event.
All right, so this is Intergenerational Storytelling with Miss Karen Washington. She's a cooperative farmer up from Bronx, New York. And so our plan, our idea, our goal was to get her. She's coming from the Organic Grower School as a panel speaker. She's a guest speaker for this weekend, the Organic Grower School Conference. And so we were able to get some of her time today. And so the theme of the event is to spark ideas, spark conversations, get people thinking about, farming, where food comes from, the systematic oppression that's taking place around food, systematic oppression that's taking place around land. It's storytelling. It's hearing stories from elders that grew up, on farms and hearing, the first-hand experiences of how it was for them. And, my generation younger, a lot of us, we think food comes from grocery stores. We think food comes from fast food. And so, hearing the stories from our elders, hearing the stories of other farmers and people that are doing the work, let's people my generation, the generations younger, know that this is something that's possible, this is something that's attainable, this is something that we need to be preserving and that we need to be making moves to, get land of our own so that we can pass down for generations to come, so our kids can inherit land, hopefully, and they can know what it's like to garden.